silver and gold for troubled times. I'm going to give you a little bit of a heartbreaking story what's going on here in the state of Florida, my friends. It has to do with farmers. We got to support our local farmers. We're going to get into that. Help me out with the thumbs up. That helps get the videos out to more and more people. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. You never know when I'm going to drop that little hint for this week's giveaway. We do a giveaway every single Saturday, at least for the rest of this year. Don't forget, we got the big giveaway coming up. Once we reach 10,000 subscribers, I'll be showing it once again very soon what's in this giveaway. It's a little bit of gold in this giveaway. Think you folks are going to like this one. Let's get into it. Guy comes in. He's a local farmer. Lives about 64 miles away or so. And he owns out that way, he owns a general store, tractor parts, sodas, your normal convenience stores. But a little bit add-on. He owns a little restaurant as well, and he owns a gas station. Gas, diesel, farm fuel, whatever, okay? And there's a lot of trouble going on out that way. And what's going on, these vendors that come to deliver, they used to have, 60-day guideline to pay your bill, 40-day guideline, 3 months, 2 months, whatever the vendor wanted to do. That's all going away, my friends. The credit is drying up. Okay, credit is drying up. They want money on demand. They want cash in hand or check in hand when it's time for delivery. Or paid in advance before the delivery truck even comes, depending on these vendors. And he says, just about all my vendors now are requiring payment up front before it gets delivered. Wire me the check before, or give me a check when I drop it. That takes a pinch of all your business. He's got employees he's got to pay at the restaurant, at the gas station, at the general store, at his farm. And other farmers come to him and pay him, but sometimes they need a little bit of credit too. So he's set up a payment plan with some of his customers. Have a barcode system on the card. It's like a credit card, but it's really not a credit card. And $500 limits. He says some of these people are not paying like they used to. They're not paying like they used to. They may take a little bit longer to pay. I always get paid in full. I got to chase a couple people around. Once I find them, I cut them off. And he says it's getting to a point where I need to come in and sell some silver and gold. Well, today he came in. He sold off 1,500 ounces of silver, 4 ounces of gold. He says, I need the money to keep the business open. He says, I don't know what's going to happen next year. He says, I'm going to have to raise prices once again. Prices keep going up. These vendors are not accepting hardly any more 30-day payment plans to back nothing. The credit is drying up. Andy Shepman said that exactly the same thing last night on Liberty and Finance. Credit's going away, my friends. There's no more trust. There's no more trust. How are these small businesses supposed to survive? That's the problem we're running into. He says he takes silver and gold as payment that way. And he, sometimes he pays out silver and gold back in change, depending on the amount that's back in change. People don't mind it that way. He says some people don't mind it that way. But he says the trouble is people are not paying the bills like they used to. And, now he had to come up with another plan. All right, you go past 30 days after you borrow the money from me, I'm going to start charging you 7% per month. And people seem to be fine with that. But it's called troubled times. This is what we're in. Our farmers are in trouble. We got to support our local farmers. They're the ones who feed us, my friends. Thank God he had silver and gold to pay some of these vendors off on time. Get his product that he needs for his community, for his area of the state. Now, Christmas time is coming. He says, this year they announced, kind of late, they want the money up front for the Christmas trees. He says, I didn't have the $23,000 to spend out right now. He says, that's part of this money where it's going. He says, I need to get this money paid out to them tomorrow so they can have it delivered the day after Thanksgiving for my Christmas trees. He's got all kinds of little side hustles. He's got a big farm. Big farm. And he's got a couple of businesses on the side. He's got people to pay. He said, I can't let my employees go out without pay. He said, I'm not that type of person, Chris. I said, I know how you are. You pay all your bills on time. He said, I try to help people out, and some people try to avoid me. So they live in the same town. I know where these people live, he says. He says, they're not going to get out of not paying me. If they get in financial trouble, all they do is come to me and work out a payment plan. He says, I'm very generous, with a lot of people. Getting this barcode system set up this way. You borrow the money from me, you come in to my general store, you grab a bottle of soda, you grab a pack of cigarettes, you grab a case of beer, whatever the case he says. You need a pot for your tractor, pay me in 30 days. You got $500 credit. Some people try to take advantage of that. Some people try not to pay. He says, that's really not hurting me. He says, what's hurting me is all these vendors want all this money all up front, every single time. So that's what's hurting me. He says, hopefully this amount of cash right now will save the business. And I'll be all right. But he says, I don't know. He says, prices keep going up. People are going elsewhere. People are running into the cities because it's actually cheaper for them to run into the cities than drive into the cities and buying it from me now. That's what's going on, my friend. Support your local farmers. Check out my good friend Annie Oakley. She's a farmer. Her husband's a farmer. Her family's a farmer. They're going through some heck right now with her own bank. She wrote a check to one of her credit card companies for $4,300. Somehow, that check was altered. And another major bank cashed this check by digitally depositing it. She's got all the proof at her end. Her and her husband got all the proof on her end that she wrote this check to one of the credit card companies. Someone else took this check and altered it. What they probably did, took a piece of paper, cover up this bank's name that she was paying the check to, put this person's name, put her name on it, Carly Phillips, and a major bank cashed this check digitally, $4,300. Now, why wasn't this check cleared? Why wasn't this check demanded for physical delivery? $4,300. Her bank can't answer that. They said, well, we don't do anything. We don't double check unless it's $7,500 or more. Really? $43 is a drop in the bucket with her local bank? That is what is happening in this country. I didn't give her financial advice, but I said, give that bank heck. Keep on your local bank, Annie. And we got to support her too. I hope people go over to her channel, and I'll drop a link to her channel in the comment section below. That'll be the first comment you see is my pinned comment. It may be towards the bottom of the comment section, but it will be in the comment section. Check her out. Let's support Annie Oakley, the one and only Annie Oakley. Check out channel sponsor Pinbacks for all your silver, gold, and platinum needs, my friends. Where's silver and gold going to go? Some people think it's going to go to $100 an ounce. Some people laugh at that, but really, $100 an ounce is not out of the question. We should be pushing $200 an ounce right now for silver. We know it's manipulated. We know it's manipulated. Don't be seen on that sideline. And wishing and hoping is going back to 40. Wishing and hoping is going back to 35. I've said it many times. That ship has sailed. I remember when I was on another YouTube podcast, and when I first started my own YouTube channel back on June of 2024, I remember people, when silver was $22, $23, $24 an ounce, people were saying, I'm waiting for $17 in silver to back up the truck. I said back then, $17 silver is not going to happen anymore. Look where we're at now, my friends. Look where we are now. For all those people hopped about backing up the truck at 17, they're gone. They don't come around no more. Look, I don't have a crystal ball. We're heading for more and more troubled times. And when I see stuff like this, localized people trying to do the right thing, and people try to take advantage of other people, like banks, like other people not paying their bills. When your localized people are giving you a little bit of credit to get by, and people, not everybody, but he said he's got about 12 people that just don't like to pay that much. Just people that have come to me, he says, and said, look, I'm in a little bit financial trouble. I need a little bit more time. I need another 2 weeks. Fine. I charge you an extra $10 for the 2 weeks. People are fine with it. He says, all I need people to do is be honest with me. And I will work with them. You know, you say you're going to pay me $500 in 2 weeks, then I'm not going to charge you the full 7%. You know, he said, just be honest. But before silver and gold, platinum go really crazy, my friends, check out channel sponsor Pimex. They got a lot of inventory in stock right now. They got a lot of selections in stock. Don't wait. If you got the means to do so. This is not telling you to go buy it. That's what some people think. I'm a silver pumper. I'm a gold pumper. I'm a platinum pumper. I pump my wheat pennies. Look, you have the choice to convert from this to real money. You have a choice to go spend this on stuff you really don't need. You have a choice to go spend this on electronics every 6 months. When the new cell phones come out every 6 months. Oh, people are going to have the newest cell phone. They got to have the newest laptop. They got to have more. They got to have more bells and whistles. We'll keep having all those bells and whistles. Because when the power goes out, those bells and whistles are not going to work. Nothing's going to work, my friends. People talk about this Bitcoin, meme coins, digits on the screen. How's that working out for you? You're trusting a computer system not to crash. Not to crash. You don't hold it, you don't own it. I can hold my silver. I can hold my gold backs because that's the only gold I got. But I can't hold a meme coin. I can't hold a Bitcoin. No, 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 no. It's thin air, my friends. You know, we have to stick together. We have to support our local farmers. Remember, your local farmers, your food from your stores, your grocery stores, came from a farmer. Your meat came from a farmer. Maybe not at first it did. Went to the butcher afterwards, right? Who raised the chickens? Who raises the turkeys? Farmers. Farmers feed us. If you happen to have a local farmer in your area, stop by. Support their businesses if they have a business. Maybe you get a better price than at the store. You probably will get a better price. Support your local farmers, this is my friends. Buy local produce if you can. I know it's up north, snowing stuff. It's hard to do that up north, but during the seasons, during your crop seasons, buy local when you can. So help support local business. Keep the money in your local area when you can. Now, fortunately, down here in Florida, we grow crops all year round. Maybe not every single crop all year round, but you get the picture. Support your local farmers. Subscribe to my good friend Annie Oakley. You know, I'm hoping. I think she's got all the proof in the pudding that she didn't write that check to that person. And the bank's like looking at it, it's not a big deal. Well, that's how these bankers are. They act like it's not a big deal. They make you do all the running around. Why should somebody have to drive that far, back and forth, to get this resolved 3 or 4 times before this gets resolved? Where they had all the proof, and they wanted more proof, and they had the nerve to say, well, we want to make sure you didn't do something wrong, meaning her. That's an insult, banker. That's the biggest insult. Yeah, I'm a little teed off. I'm more than teed off, but I'm keeping the language clean. I think you know what word I was going to use. But we got to support one another, my friends. We got to get people educated about real money, silver and gold. And I think there's going to be a lot of people going to be really suffering when we go to the stable coin. It's coming. Exactly when, I don't know. But this is not where we should be going. We need physical. Maybe not so much this. They need to stop printing this. They need to get something new out there. They need to get rid of this debt. The government needs to stop spending. Spending. It's killing the dollar, my friends. This is why your cereal is $8. This is why your Pepsi is $11.59 a 12-pack at Publix. Shame on Pepsi. Shame on Publix. $11.59 for a 12-pack of Pepsi when it's not on sale. Shame on these cereal companies. $7.99 a box. Oh, but wait, you buy one, get one free. They would buy one, get one free at half that price, my friends. Everything's going up. Breakfast used to be the cheapest meal around. It's starting to be the most expensive meal around. Look at your bread prices. Look at your cereal prices. Look at your egg prices. It's getting expensive. But silver and gold have done a pretty good gosh darn job for the most part keeping up with inflation. But silver still should be about $200 an ounce right now. That's no joke. We got to break the COMEX. We got to break the LBMA. That is starting to break down, my friends. We're going to see some interesting numbers, I do believe, next year. We're going to keep you in the loop. And you might hear some more crazy stories, because I'm starting to see a lot more crazy things out there. And I hope people really realize, don't trade your silver and gold for adult Christmas presents this year. If you have to do it for the kids, that's one thing. Don't worry about your aunts, your uncles that don't live with you. Don't worry about people that don't live with you, your family that don't live with you this year. Maybe if someone's really hurting for money, help them out a little bit if you're able to do so. Now, year after year, I see on Facebook people's Christmas trees, and they're all covered with gifts. And piles, and there's only like 6 people coming over to the house, along with the 3 or 4 people, and there's just piles of it. Really? Christmas is gone. The holidays have gone too commercial. And it's all about spending. Black Friday sales, Cyber Monday sales, week before Christmas sales. What have we become as a country? Spending money, stuff gets thrown away, something breaks, we throw it away, and we go buy new. You don't see the TV this repairmans no more. Those have been long gone. Think about, those were before my days too. But you watch older shows, and you see this, and like, they had that back then. TV repairman came over to your house, fixed the tube in the TV. Appliances don't last like they used to. The old good old good appliances used to last 20 years. You're lucky if you get 5 years out of an appliance now. 7 years. They're made that way, my friends, to break down. They're made that way. What happened to ethics in this country? What happened to a lot of things? What happened to this common respect? It's gone. We need to bring this back. And I don't know how we're going to do it. But we got to get people educated about silver and gold. That's what we got to get people educated about. We got to help as many people as we can. That's why I built this channel for. And sometimes, yes, I agree, it's a struggle. I see it in your comments. I try to tell my friends, I try to tell my family, they think I'm crazy. Well, let them think you're crazy. Because I don't think you're crazy. To the new stackers out there. Once again, don't compare your stack with anybody else's stack. Don't do that. Don't compare your stack with anybody else's stack. Because that's where you're going to get in trouble. Don't ever say you're never going to get there. Maybe you won't get as many ounces as some these YouTube channels like to show their full stacks, right? Or maybe you walk into your local coin shop and you see someone buying 8, 9 tubes of silver and you can only afford 1 or 2 coins. 1 or 2 rounds. Don't worry about what anybody else does. We'll focus on what you can afford. Because the more ounces you add now, the better off you're going to be. Just remember that, my friends. Especially to the new stackers out there. The ones that have been stacking for a while seem to understand all this. We get it. But it takes time to learn this. And not overdo it. Not over-convert at one time. For the new people, learn from our mistakes. We're here to help you. And I don't care how long you've been stacking for. We're still learning. I'm still learning every day. If you got questions, email me. My email's in every single description of every single video. That's why I put it out there for. Let's build this community to help one another. Not try to condemn somebody. Not trying to hurt someone's feelings. It's not what this is about. This is about saving real money. Protecting your wealth. Again, if you got questions for me, email me away. We will do another video later today. Thanks for watching. Crazy Coin Shop Chris is out.